Welcome to the Broski Doodles podcast, the best podcast in all of the land. It's your boy KIKO KIKO Cervantes, and today we got you with a motherfucking Halloween talk. It's a fucking special. It's the 31st of October, and you know what that means. It's a Day of the Dead. It's a Day of the Dead. Today, I got some very, very important people with us in the podcast, people that you've seen, people that you hear on a constant. And we're gonna have a really nice party today about, what it is that Halloween means to us, how it has evolved in the years, what are the type of celebrations that are still being done, not only for the kiddos, but also for the older people like us. What is it that we do to have a little fun out there? And also about the bad things that, that can happen, the rumors. We as kids, we've always heard that, there's gonna be drugs in the candy that they were giving out. I never got drugs for free on the candies, but we're just gonna speak on all of this. And today, joining me as always is your boy DJ BJ. If you don't see him yet, it's because he's still getting into the character. This guy he's not a normal person. This is not a guy that you normally see out there, and he's being dressed in a normal way. This guy's always going the extra level with the costume, with the disguise, with the shit. That's why John is part of the podcast. It's not because he has amazing ideas. I mean that's a plus. Is it because he has amazing arguments? No, that's just a plus. It's his disguise, his wardrobe. Today, what are you coming as? Are you the Undertaker, or are you just like a Hell's Angel guy?
Some people even call me like a witch doctor, but I am the dealer of death. I am the Undertaker.
Fuck, the dealer of death. Do you go out there? You what does that mean, actually? The dealer of death.
I mean, when I show up, I am. You basically, it's certain that you're gonna die.
Also, are you like the Grim Reaper? But
to a certain extent,
days? Okay.
Like in the wrestling, world, whatever, yeah.
Okay. And well, today, John, I wanted to ask you, because I know that you went out last night to a Halloween party, and that is what the kiddos that became adults do these days,
right? And
then there's also the things that we did as kiddos, which was a trick or treating, going to different houses, getting candy, right?
Of course.
Now, I want to go through like the whole process, the whole evolution, not only of Halloween in its own, but the evolution for us as we've grown older. I think I was one of those kids that continued to trick or treat, I think a little bit too long. Sometimes, I'm out there in life and I do an action and I'm like, am I trick or treating right now? Sometimes I think I'm still on it, Like I tell a girl, like, hey, no, for real, this is gonna be forever. Like I love you, type shit. Am I still trick or treating then?
Are you trick or treating, or are you treating that trick?
Oh
shit!
It's evolved. It's evolved. No, but look, when we were young, did you also go trick or treating?
I feel like I did go trick or treating a little too long. I think I even got to the point where I was trick or treating to then go to a party. So like I would trick or treat a little bit in the beginning, and then go to the Halloween party. But then once you get to that first party, you're like, you know what, maybe trick or treating is not for me anymore.
Right. When you start getting to the houses with a mustache, a beard, maybe you start looking weird, right? Is he out there for the candy or for the kids? What's happening?
When you're bigger than the adult that's giving out the candy, then it becomes a problem.
It's not a good optic. It's not a good optics.
Oh man.
No, but it is funny because, dude, I remember because I don't remember exactly the age, but I think I was like 15, 16, still trick or treating. And I think that's a little old, right? It's a little old.
I want to say borderline. I'd
borderline.
Say I think even into like high school, you get a pass. Once you're like college, I think that's it. It's over.
Yeah, college. Yeah, because in high school, the card I played is, oh look, I'm trick or treating still, because I'm just a Looney Tunes,
Or like,
and I played that card.
You play the card like where you have a sibling. You're like, oh no, I'm here with my sibling. I'm not really tricking, but you know what? Let me just get some candy.
Right. Where's the Milky Ways? I don't want this fucking candy corn. What the fuck?
But then now as an adult, you just have to like when Halloween comes around and you see those bags of candy, you're like, fuck, I can't even have like those candies. I'm gonna get diabetes.
Yeah, for real.
But
We're
then
like thinking about.
you get like one fun size, and then you're like, all right, fuck it, that's it. This is my treat for the for.
Yeah, dude. I remember that first night after trick or treating, I just have like a black bag full with chocolates, and I just binged that shit. And yeah, I mean, if we did that today, it's probably like a visit to the hospital. And hopefully we get out, you know, but still hopefully
they let us go, like, because they'll be like, no, you're staying here.
Yeah No, it's crazy how it has evolved these days because of, you know, how I think the world has gotten a little more dangerous. In general, society I think has gotten a little more hostile. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't live in the US anymore, so I haven't seen these festivities in a while. But is it trick-or-treating, you know, still going on like we used to back in the day? You still feel that love, that, you know?
I don't feel the energy. I remember when I first moved here, trick-or-treating was a problem because there'd be so many people knocking on the door that, like, I had dogs and they would start barking and stuff, and now I think I can maybe count one or two knocks throughout the whole night of Halloween, you know.
Now you're saying this in okay, so these days, damn, that's sad.
But now you have to also consider the fact that maybe when I first moved here, there were more young kids, and maybe they've grown.
Where is, like, when you first moved to Miami?
No, when I first moved to where I live now.
In the area in Miami.
I've been here since 2001.
Okay.
So yeah, there's been a steady decline. So I mean, you could contribute it either to the people in the area growing up. One, two, the rising, you know, insecurity of, is somebody gonna give me, like, my kid a razor blade in the candy or drugs? I mean, I don't see the motivation behind that. But I understand that the world is kind of evil sometimes. So there are people that will just do it just to cause chaos. But definitely a steady decline of people actually going out to do the trick-or-treating.
That's sad, and I think it does speak to what society has become. You know, I think the world is just a more insecure place if we compare it to, you know, 15, 20 years ago when we were a lot younger. And that is a sad thing. I mean, I guess it is true that if you're in the same region where you've lived for over 20 years, people grow up. But I would also guess people also have kids, and those kids grow up. So,
right.
So it I think in general, it's just not a safe place as it used to be. But who knows? I mean, maybe it has to do also with the spirit of kids. You know, like they don't have that spirit anymore for the Halloween. You know, and I think that. I mean, Halloween was a party. Like, going out trick-or-treating was a fucking event. I remember it being an event. And now, that thing about, oh, they're going to give you candy that's, you know, I don't know, poison or razor blades, or they're going to give you drugs. Those rumors have been happening since we were trick-or-treating 20 years ago. Yeah. Right? And
I wouldn't necessarily say rumors, but the numbers are definitely, like, outliers. I don't think everybody's out there giving out razor blades and like pot candy or whatever, but it can happen. So everybody's like all like on the fence about that, you know?
I mean, if you're a parent, I can understand you being paranoid about that. And if you really think about it, the trick-or-treating activity is something where you kind of have to trust your neighbors, you know? In all fronts, not only about what you're gonna give me, but, you know, me allowing my kids to go knock on strangers' doors. Like, it is something that, unfortunately, it is a more dangerous world now, where even I might be scared about letting my kids go. So it is a sad situation, because I think that Halloween was like almost as big as Christmas, you know, but I mean, in any case, now that we're older, it has evolved into Halloween parties. And I remember those fondly, you know, going to Halloween parties and being in a bathroom locked in with fucking Jack Sparrow and John Wick smoking out of a crack pipe. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
So I see how it has evolved now. Yesterday you went to like a club type thing, right? So it was like
Well,
a disco type.
I started the night at a house party because I had a DJ, and then it evolved into a club thing, and it could have kept going, but it was already 3 o'clock in the morning, and I mean I had a prior engagement for today, and I didn't want to miss it, but I woke up like at 10, and I saw that there were still people out 10 a.m. at a club at a Halloween party.
I mean, that's not rare, right? In the Miami scene.
In Miami, yeah, of course.
Because the clubs don't close; they continue. I remember one time, it wasn't on a Halloween party, but I went to, it was Nocturnal. It was like a club that was next to Space. Nocturnal. I don't know if it exists anymore. And I remember leaving like at 12 in the afternoon the next day.
Oof.
And that was the only time I did something like that. But to be honest, like these days, me staying up until the sun comes out just sounds like an insane idea. Like it's just insane. Just that day appearing, at the end of the horizon is like, I don't know, it just brings me guilt and all sorts of like negative thoughts. But who knows? Maybe at one point in my life, I'll be in a situation where I'm like, no, this merits staying up to 11 in the morning and fucking going to the buffet at the hotel and just having breakfast with the boys. Like So I don't discard it completely. But yeah, I feel what you mean. Aside from the fact that you had this commitment today of recording podcast. Did you also think to yourself like, fuck, no, like I can't keep this going? Or was the vibes good enough where you're like, man, this could have just continued to a good place as well?
I would have wanted to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would have definitely wanted to go. Because like basically, the party that I was DJing, I finished like at 1. And like when I'm doing that, I'm not in the party. I'm kind of behind the scenes. So I actually started partying when I got to the club and met up with the twins and whatnot. So, and then that was from 2 to 3. So I was like, I was still like kind of hyped to go, but then I was like, no, it's also pretty late. I'm exhausted. But there were, since it's Miami, there's certain things that can help you, keep going.
Right. Okay, so I get it. I get what you mean though, because if you just got to the party and it's 3 a.m, like yeah, you're like, no, fuck it, I want to continue that. At least to 5,
Right. At least to 5, yeah. 5 would have been all right, 5, 6, but nah. I was like, I have to commit. So yeah, I mean, other than that, would I have gone out to 10 a.m? Oof, puta. I don't know. That's harsh. That's harsh.
You would need a lot of help for that one. You would need a lot of help.
It's after a certain point, it gets to diminishing returns. Like like even with all the help you can get, your body starts shutting down.
Yeah, your body starts telling you, hey, bro, no matter how much fuel you put in this bitch, this engine is overheated. You need to chill. Now, one thing that is very known about Halloween celebrations, and it's something that I really, we really can't complain as men, but it is a reality, is that Halloween is very much like a slut-pass holiday, right? Sort of allows the ladies to expose themselves in a non-judging environment, right? Was that what you experienced in the club as well?
I mean, quite frankly, Halloween is my favorite holiday, and that can very well be one of the reasons why.
Okay,
it's a very enjoyable it's a very enjoyable weekend. It's usually throughout the year one of the weekends where I get the most action. As a matter of fact, that's where things are happening. People are wild. The full moon's out. People are going crazy, down for anything. shit gets weird on Halloween.
Would you say that's when DJ BJ really, does his business?
I would even go as far as to say, since I am a Scorpio, that is the Halloween is peak DJ BJ. Peak DJ BJ Halloween night.
Okay, right, because it's also your birthday around this time.
Right. The yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, in front of the Broski Doodles and as well, with their own wishes, because I know they're watching us and they're like, "Fuck, I wanna." Yeah. Not only me, but all the Broski Doodles that watch. Happy birthday to DJ BJ.
Thank you, appreciate it.
A very important piece of this podcast and one of the funniest men that I know. So you're saying not only is the Halloween something that you enjoy, but it actually matches with your astrology. And would you say that you kind of only want to do the business on Halloween? Like, would you say you? I mean, not that you would want to, but in a way, if the whole year you've been a little dry, you don't mind saving all that energy for that one night when the werewolves comes out.
Definitely. Definitely. If it meant saving up the entire energy of the whole year to spend it on one night, it would definitely be Halloween.
Okay.
Like if I could only spend it on one night, Halloween for sure. I mean, like Halloween weekend partying outside, like, I mean, not Halloween day maybe, but like the weekend where the parties are, the most popping for Halloween. Yes, definitely.
Would you say that a part of the appealing elements of it are like, and again, this, within the context, of course, you kind of embrace your evil?
Well, you also embrace your alter ego. So you embrace the persona that you are. It changes you. It transforms you. It transmutes your energy into, whatever needs to be done. It gets done,
Right.
And
whatever like spirit animal you are, that's the best night to sort of invoke that shit. That's crazy because I remember being in Halloween parties where, now that I think about it, I should have looked at the DJ and I'm like, is DJ BJ here? Because it's just getting weird. Shit is getting... There's people in the bathroom with a crack pipe. I was telling people, I'm like, yo, we need to call the cops.
You were telling people at your own party, like, this is my house. Somebody call the cops.
Somebody call the cops. There's some weird people in the bathroom and there's a body in the garage.
And they're not inviting me to the bathroom.
They're telling me like that movie Dewey, Walk Hard.
The Dewey Cox story.
The Dewey Cox story, when he goes into the bathroom, get out of here, this is not for you. You don't want none of this. You don't want to smoke marijuana. It's totally not addictive.
Totally.
And it won't hurt any of your neurons and shit.
Yeah.
But when I get addicted, actually, no, it's been proven statistically that that's one of the most underrated movies. It's so funny.
That scene is
because those concurrent scenes continue to happen throughout the movie, but with different drugs. No, but yeah, like I've been in Halloween parties where shit gets weird. I remember being once at a party in a club as well, maybe nocturnal. I think as well. And we were all like, disguised. And I remember we were on the LSD ski. For the Albert Hoffman's historians out there. And that's a not so smart way of turning that night even more evil. But because if you can't control, then you're going into dark places. Thankfully, I was able to coast through those times. But yeah, definitely the fact that the ladies, are showing a lot of who they are, helps. And for people out there that are listening, like, oh, why are you talking about that? About women in that? No, they want to do that. They do that so that we can talk about it, in the podcast. And I'm happy.
Sorry. Even like the ones that don't necessarily show as much, but it's like certain characters and you're like, damn, I would like to get with this character, you know?
Oh shit.
Like it's not even they don't have to show that much, just like be a
Fuck.
character. Like, hey, you know what? Fuck, I want to fuck Mickey Mouse or some shit, you know, like or Minnie Mouse, whatever.
You just fucking yeah, of course. It's not even about the whole, like, it's not just about being out there exposing everything. Even if you're not exposing any of your parts, but the fact that you dress in a character, that just ups the fucking
Like
sickness
you
within,
get
right?
like the role plays, you know. You're like, hey, oh shit,
Like
Wanna-
you're the
wanna-
Undertaker, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm Monica Lewinsky. Whoa, right?
or like a Raven, you know, Starfire, like you know, it could even be like I don't know, like Daisy Dukes. Oh my goodness, you know?
Cortana from Halo.
What the fuck? Oof,
Yeah.
you know?
What are you dressed as? Oh, I'm Forrest Gump's mom when she's about to die. Oh shit, Dick Hard.
The other one, the one that I saw that was really intriguing. She was like a bag of Doritos, and then I asked her, what costume are you? Oh, I'm a snack. Like, you know, like,
Oh shit.
and that girl was a snack. You know, I wanted to, I wanted a munch.
I wanted to munch on the Doritos.
I had that munchies, you know.
Damn, that's fire. And you know what's the other thing? And I remember seeing movies of like back in the day, like in the 1800s, they would have like the carnival or whatever. I don't think it wasn't Halloween, but it's still costume parties, and they will have those things where they cover their face, right? And there was like
a masquerade ball.
a masquerade ball, and there was something about maybe hooking up with someone you don't know who it is, and that, you know, levels
But
up.
But like, so as you're doing it, you have to like keep the mask on and shit. Like, you
know, one thing
I
I never understood the point of those. Like, I get like put like one that you can like stays in place, but one that you have to hold, you only have one hand and then one hand to do the rest.
It was like 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 when Superman puts on the glasses, like you don't know who he is.
You don't know what it is. Yeah, that's another thing, right? Like, you're like, how the fuck do you don't know who it is? You know, it's no, but yeah, damn, that's a crazy thing there. And even if you like, you know, you're a single guy, right? You're out there in a party, and let's say it's a school party, because those were the best, a college party. So you know some of the people, and then someone that you know is dressed as a character, and then you put in both things, like the fact that you already liked them, but now they're dressing as a different way, and you can do role playing shit. Like, that just takes it to a different level of where that nastiness can go.
Oof. No, and even there's even this is very situational, and it can happen. And if it does happen, you have to exploit it to the max. When your costume matches the other girl's costume, like you're the guy and she's the girl of the couple in whatever show or movie or whatever, bro, you have to metele.
Right. Or even if it's the opposite, even better. If you're
Like
the girl costume and she's the guy costume,
oh my goodness.
and then when you're about to do it, she has a bigger dick than you.
Hey, it's a nasty
Halloween.
night. It's Halloween. the wolves are out.
Well, mama don't see it all. Well, mama won't know. No, that's crazy. Damn, I didn't even think of that.
But my
Like, you
mama
go,
said,
you go as Bill Clinton, and she goes as, you know, Monica, or you know, or you go as Trump, and she goes as Trump's daughter. You know. That would be a fire one.
You know, hey, that would be a fire one. Yeah.
And then when you're in the act, she's like, "Oh my God, Daddy, don't do it so hard." And in your mind, you're like, "Yo, that's fucked up. That's sick. But why is it making me come? What? No.
No.
Oh my God, Father, I remember when I was a little girl. What the fuck are you doing?
No, shit.
I just discovered I'm sick-minded.
The daddy was enough. You didn't have to keep it going.
Remember when you bought me that for my 5th birthday? What the fuck?
I already busted. Stop.
I stop it. And she's like, "No, I need this. Is the only way I can come." You're like, "What?"
Oh, fuck.
And then you realize she's a fucking crazy girl. Halloween. Do you think it should be Halloween? Not Halloween. Halloween. Make it a
Yeah.
week thing, or do you think it's just too dangerous? It's kind of like, what's that movie called where there's a day in the year where people can do any crime?
Like
The Purge. The
the
Purge.
Purge.
Do you think that with Halloween is one of those things where it can't be more than a weekend, or society can maybe destabilize?
Um, I wow. So recently I had to travel to California.
To
And
California?
to California, and I was out there starting on the 10th of December, and I got back actually on Friday of this week.
10th of December.
Yeah, so 10th of October. Sorry,
Okay.
10th of October. Yeah, I was going back in time. 10th of October, and I arrived this Friday, the 28th. And on the first weekend, it was like Friday the 14th. Interesting enough, Friday the 14th, they were already starting to have costume parties over there in California. And
Are you sure it
seemed
was a costume party and you were not in a homeless encampment?
I had to
That's
get
pretty
patted.
scary.
I had to get patted down before going in. I got patted down, metal detector, and then patted down again, like twice, three. It was super strange.
In a club?
And it was like a bar lounge. Yeah.
I mean, I understand it. I mean, you hear a bunch of crazy shit happen in Cali.
No, and even after all that, and once we were inside, a fight still broke out in the club.
Really?
And yeah, it was that was kind of scary. It was scarier than the Halloween in itself, but scary, not like, because you're like, well, usually here in Miami, once an altercation like that happens, there's a high chance of there being repercussions outside, like like a shootout, or the fight continues, or somebody pulls out a knife, things like that. So you're very weary of that bleeding into the club. But back to the subject, I think even 2 weeks, I would allow it, and
Okay,
it
so two
still be
weeks
acceptable.
within the Halloween region.
Right. So like Halloween weekend, a week before, and then a week before that, I would say it's acceptable to have like a costume party
Okay.
on a Saturday, because not everybody has a chance to be available on Halloween. So you could plan it ahead of time. Like, look, we can't do a Halloween weekend, but we could do the weekend before. Let's have a house party, dress up, blah 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 blah.
Okay, so now what about what? I'm gonna do like a Christopher Walken. What about having the Halloween all year round? No, but like, what about
Wait.
having a costume party in fucking February? Is
That-
that
that-
acceptable?
That was Christopher Walken and
Yeah.
Borat combined.
How could you say that? That's Christopher Walken, Borat, and a kid with a very heavy accent from South America, all combined into one.
That's what it was.
What do you mean? Yeah, it is a very like like a refy ass Christopher Walken.
like Christopher Walken from Wish.
I love the Halloween party. Oh fuck. No, but yeah. What about February costume party? Or do you think it has to be linked to the Halloween? The October, the Scorpio, the energies, the full moon, the werewolves, the Nazis.
Can you have a costume party any day of the year? Interesting. More likely, I could imagine a themed party than a costume party. So like, hey, everybody dress up as the 80s or dress up as the 90s. Everybody dress up as cowboys or something like that, and still be accepted as a costume party, rather than just outright having a costume party outside of Halloween. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay. So more specifics. Like you
Right.
say, in Halloween, you dress up as whatever the fuck you want. It could be a scary thing. It could be a funny thing. You could go as a politician. You could go as Jeffrey Dahmer.
I did see a Jeffrey Dahmer last night.
There was probably a lot of them, right?
I only saw one, but
Okay.
I don't think people would like that one. But okay.
Okay. Yes, but yeah, I get
do
it.
you.
No,
Yeah,
no,
like
of course.
you ain't getting any action on
Right.
as Jeffrey Dahmer. That's it's like you like what's the point? And like why are you doing this?
Yeah.
You're doing this to ruffle some feathers, you know?
You think so?
Like I mean, think about it. Like there's some people that don't necessarily have any intention other than to create controversy, right? Because we discussed this about the whole candy thing. In the same way, there's some people that dress up to create controversy, just outright to create controversy, knowing that they're not really out there to, like enjoy themselves, other than just to,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I wouldn't consider being dressed as Jeffrey Dahmer as you trying to be, cause controversy. But I could see somebody that wants to cause controversy dressing up as Jeffrey Dahmer. But it's just because in Halloween you always get the most common things and themes of that year. So if a movie came out, people are gonna go as that character. When the Pirates of the Caribbean movies came out, Jack Sparrow was a crazy one.
Sold out.
Did you see Jack Sparrow last night?
I did see Pirates. It's one of the most common ones. I think Pirates, Cops.
No, the Cops, not a good one. Not these days.
Let's see, sports people like football,
Nuns?
baseball.
Do you see a lot of nuns?
Nuns all over the place.
Nuns with short skirts. That's a classic.
C'est magnifique.
Dear Lord,
Dear Lord.
Here you go, lady, for all your troubles. There's a very famous joke in like Spanish culture, which is like, it's like, in our countries you have carnival or carnival, right? Which and people dress up in carnival. That's when you normally dress up. And there was this guy driving, right, and he's passing by like a town where they're having a carnival party, and then there's this nun, right, and then he's like, "Oh, what's up? You need a ride?" And the nun is like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then while they're riding, he's like, "Well, I'm giving you a ride. You should pay me somehow. Maybe you should, we should have some sex or something." And the nun goes like, "Oh, but I can't have sex because my vagina is for God." And
oh my God!
So you can only do it from behind, from the asshole. So they do it, right? And then once he drops him off, he's like, "All right, peace." Or the nun. Then the nun ends up being like a guy dressed up in carnival.
Nice.
Of course, the joke told the right way is
Spanish.
It's for laughs, But I guess what I'm saying here is, when it comes to transgender sexual activities, in the Brodsky Doodles, we support all that. I mean, if there's a weird group of people, it's us, right? But I normally like to think that these things should be consensual, like every type of sexual activity. And if you are somebody that transition into another sex, I should know, and I should make the decision of if I want to be with someone of that nature, right?
Right.
I think that's normal. That being said, I might make an exception for Halloween because there's this evilness that wants me to say, like, look, in Halloween you go at your own risk. Would you agree with that?
I mean, once you're behind closed doors, whatever happens. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't have to ask whether or not you are what you are. Like, I'm already taking you as Buzz Lightyear or something, or
okay.
Like, so if you have a rod or you have a slot,
you're Buzz Lightyear.
You're Buzz Lightyear for me.
Are you a guy? Are you a girl? I don't know. You're Iron Man. You know what I mean? Are you female? Are you male? I don't know. You're R2-D2 from Star Wars. And you give a mean head. I mean, what am I supposed to do?
What more can I ask for? As DJ BJ, what more can I ask for?
As DJ BJ, my slogan is, I ain't got no questions for you. What's your name? what age are you? What were you born with? What type of personal questions is that? I'm Buzz Lightyear.
I was like,
And you're Woody.
I got a Woody or I am Woody.
Whoa.
Whoa.
All right. Well, I do wanna touch a subject that is it's not the fun ones, that we touch, but it is reality, and I kind of want to leave a message as well, because we do live in a world that's a little more hostile than in the past. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't express our love and try to fill everyone that we are with love. Even though it's a night where a little bit of evil can come out. Nobody said that love cannot have a little bit of evilness in it. It's just love is love. So I heard a very bad, horrible story actually happen these days in the Halloween celebrations in South Korea, in Seoul, in the capital. There's this very known street where like all the clubs are, and it's very narrow, and like 100,000 people went there for Halloween celebrations, and there was just too many people. And I was talking about this with my dad last night. When there's that many people together, you just need one little thing, and then it triggers a whole chaotic situation. So at one part of the street that's a little steep, some people fell, and then that created a whole thing, and it was like a little stampede. People freaked out, people panicked. About 150 people have died up to now, and many hundreds of others injured and in hospitals. Horrible situation. Wow. If you see the images, people are trying to revive people, with cardiopulmonary, activities and procedures. Very sad. And I guess what I wanted to say is, did you feel that there was a lot of people in the celebrations that you were in? You mentioned that in California there was a fight broke out, and I just feel that even though it is fun, it is a magical holiday where a lot of emotions and cool experiences can be had. It is also a time where people get a little looser in all senses, not only in the fun part, but also in the, maybe being hostile, being aggressive. Do you feel that as well these days? And do you think, the kiddos out there that listen should, have fun, but also be extra careful about the fun you're having?
I mean, you kept on using this word where your evilness comes out. I don't feel like that's the correct description for what you're feeling, because I don't think it's evil per se, but I think it's more primal. I think like a primal instinct of like you're just like you become animalistic. You become like you have like this sudden like sensation that takes over your body. Like you're not even thinking, you're just doing. So I don't agree with you as being evil. I would say that. And yes, that does play a part into these huge ass crowds. Be like at that club, I got there at 2 a.m. It closed at 3, and there was still a line of about 30 or 40 people to get in. And I'm assuming that has to do with the capacity of the place. Only a certain amount can be in, so they had to like hold off the line as people were leaving. Then they were letting us in. So, I mean, these big ass crowds lends itself to anything setting it off and causing a ruckus, a free for all, like things just going awry. And then at 3 a.m, when all the clubs are closing, then you see this huge density of people outside on the street. The traffic to get an Uber, you could probably spend like 20 minutes just waiting to get the Uber, even if the Uber is like like a half a block away, just because of how many people are crossing, how many people are there, how many other Ubers are there, how many other people are trying to leave. It's chaos. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I love the way that you rephrase that, because you did feel, you see, that's the Broski Doodles. We're not here together because when we were little kids, we took baths naked together, and that created a bond. That happened, but it's not why it is.
We took baths as adults, not as kids.
Yeah, as adults. we still do. It's a tradition. It's a tradition of the brotherhood. But But it's because he reads me. He knows I'm not trying to say evil, but because of my lack of knowledge of the language, of the English language, the Queen's language, he understood. He doesn't know this word, primal. That's the feeling I was getting. Because it's not like I'm an evil person, but it does touch within the very deep fabrics of our instincts. And he brings out that primal instinct. And sometimes that can lead into activities and actions that are not suitable for the society we live in today.
Right.
And unfortunately, when you combine that with people that are evil and stupid and bad people, which we're not, then those explode into fires that are even bigger than the ones that we, feel and can see.
And then what happens when you throw alcohol into a fire?
Oh, fuck.
Shit.
And what happens if with that fire you throw a bunch of ecstasy pills and then you do like this with the meth powder, like the motherfucker with the
little Salt Bay shit?
Yeah. You get a fucking explosion.
Oh, my goodness.
But when that explosion doesn't happen, then it's a magical night of fluid exchanges, disease cocktails.
So you do notice there has to be a release, whether it be the explosion or the juices. Because without the release, you get all this pent up energy. Something's about to burst.
Right. Okay. Now, to give a little bit of conclusion and also a final message to the kiddos out there. I mean, people know that the Broski Doodles is mainly listened to by older gentlemen and ladies. I would say 75 to 85. But we do have the young ones that listen to us. Young ones, obviously over age, like the 20-year-olds, the 25-year-olds. And then, of course, you got the kiddos like us, 30-something, Although those people, I think, listen to the podcast more on an audio format because they're like, look, man, I'm out there slanging dick, working, getting my career going. I can't be watching you motherfuckers every day like in YouTube doing nothing. I have to put it on while I listen and then I go out there, and do my life. Do let us know what age group are you in? If you're one of the main listeners, the ones that really enjoy this podcast, what's your age group? Because we're trying to promote the podcast, but we kind of need to know exactly who the age group is. And I think for some reason it's the older people. I don't know why I have that. I have an instinct that's the target market. It's also the ones that have money saved up, and they're like, what do I do with this shit? I'm about to go. Let's Venmo to the Broski Doodles or whatever. A sell. No, but for the kiddos out there, what are some 3 tips that are coming from DJ BJ? Not just anyone, but a DJ that knows the dark underworld and that knows how to, be aware of the shit that could happen. What are 3 tips that you could tell to a youngin that wants to go to these Halloween parties? He has that energy, has that primal feeling, but he's a good person. He wants to enjoy himself. What are 3 tips, not only to stay safe, but to have fun and to make it back home alive?
Tip number 1, always identify your exits. Have at least 2 possible. Tip number 2, always keep a head count of the people that you're with and make sure that everybody's okay, everybody's safe. And tip number 3, have a fucking blast, bro. Because before you know it, the night's done and you're all caught up with oh my god, something's gonna happen, bro. Nothing's gonna happen. Just have a mental picture of where you're at, how everything's going, but then enjoy yourself. Talk to the people, have fun, engage in the energy, engage with the people around you. These things. As time progresses, you'll notice that these things happen less and less for you as an adult. So when it does happen, enjoy it to the fullest, and surround yourself with people that you love and share the same energy as you.
Fucking amazing. I don't even want to talk much more because that was just amazing. But I just want to recap for the people that are writing notes. Identify your exits, at least 2 of them. Right? A little mental map of where you will need to go if shit went down. Keep a head count of everybody. Oh, that guy went to the bathroom. Oh, she went to get a drink. Okay, I know where everybody's at. And then once those 2 things are written off and you keep aware of those, then have fun and transmit that positive energy to the homeboys you're with, to the homegirls you're with, and also to the people around you. Create that aura of love that we need so much in this world these days. And I know that a lot of the shit that we talk here is, is having fun but really, we need love, and we need other people to know that we're about that shit, that we're about that love.
Of that life.
Whatever you got down there in between your legs, that's cool. But can you give love?
Oof.
And receive it?
Do you have love between your legs? Oof.
That's a real question. DJ BJ, thanks for joining us today on this fucking amazing duo podcast. At times some of the members have things that they need to do, have different responsibilities, and we accept that. We understand that as a broski doodles. But I am gonna take advantage of being all alone with my boy DJ BJ, doing a few episodes together. So that's mad fun. And for the Halloween skis out there, if you're going out today trick-or-treating, don't be too scared. I don't think anybody's gonna give you free drugs. They're mad expensive these days. And if you do get a razor, that's also expensive these days. If you're an adult male, you know how expensive razors are.
If you're under the age of 18, have your parents look through your candy just in case. No harm, no foul. But
unless you got a bunch of joints in there because you're a little ruckus.
Then don't have them look through that shit.
Yeah, don't have them look through shit.
Because they might take them.
Yeah, they might take that shit. Because it's expensive. They're like, fuck,
that shit expensive.
Broski Doodles, tell us about your experience on Halloween. Was it fun? What is it that you do these days as an older person? Not the 75, but if you're 35, what is it that you do on Halloween? Do you just go out with your kids and take them places? Or are you still like me and John, going to parties and trying to, dare the devil to some crazy shit, Who knows?
Trying to hook up with Booty or Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah. Keep it primal, keep it Gucci, keep it love.